So the president there, really kind of holding on to that campaign promise, and then at the same time placing blame on Congress, and that would include you. So, is there any concern that you might have as a member of Congress, particularly, that the president is saying, if things don't go well, it's Congress's fault?
Well, the president is upset with three Republican senators from their vote that took place on the skinny repeal bill. After the vote, I had the opportunity to spend time with the president talking to him about health care, and he tweeted out that there were 48 Democratic senators and 3 Republican senators that he was disappointed in. There are almost 300 Republicans in Congress on health care. He looks to the Republicans in the House and the Senate as natural allies. As well as the vice president looks to those congressional Republicans as natural allies in the efforts to make changes that they believe in as it relates to health care. But I don't think on the health care standpoint, he's not referring to all the congressional Republicans. There are a few in the Senate that blocked progress that he's upset with.
Except he didn't really piecemeal it that way. In West Virginia, it kind of is, and he's tweeted such, if folks on the Hill don't get it together, are not able to push through his agenda, it's the failure of those on Capitol Hill. Do you feel like at this juncture, the president has kind of, lost, the power of the bully pulpit because he has not been tangibly involved in moving legislation, in trying to get legislation without a big legislative victory, under his belt thus far?
Well, I can certainly speak very well on the House side, and while the irony of the Senate Republicans not being able to pass at least the skinny repeal bill before leaving, on the House side, there is a confidence and optimism more so than any other moment that I've been in Congress that we could pass everything that we want to and need to get done. We have passed on the House side hundreds of bills, by the way, many of which strong, overwhelming bipartisan support. Hundreds of bills that are over in the Senate. A few dozen of those bills have gotten through the Senate and to the president. And as far as
but
those
none of these are representative.
issues,
but none of those things are representative of the big campaign promises, health care, and next time, tax reform potentially. And you do have certain members of the GOP that are distancing themselves from Trump. I mean, you mentioned, John McCain and Mikulski, as well as Collins, but then you also now have Jeff Flake, who has been very critical with his new book, particularly criticizing Republicans even for not standing up to the president. This was Jeff Flake recently.
We've got to get away from this attitude that you have to agree with the president and that a senator should be a rubber stamp for everything the president wants at all times.
Is that kind of representative of, it's going to